Hey everyone, it is week 9, which is crazy. Season is absolutely flying by. We've got like some beautiful summer veggies this week, officially entering into like tomato, pepper season. We've got corn again. A few just like housekeeping announcements. Pesto Fest is coming up on September 22nd from 2 to 4. You do need to RSVP for that. It is $15. You bring your own food processor and some other ingredients, but for the most part, you get to use as much basil as you want within that time frame to make as much pesto as you possibly can. So have that on your radar. You do need to RSVP for that event. You can find that in the email on Saturdays and just click to let our farmers know that you're coming. Other kind of save the date is the farm to table dinner is on September 12th. That is also a ticket like RSVP situation. Not sure on specific times or price yet, but just kind of have that on your radar. September 12th is that beautiful farm to table type dinner. And then our farmers again are going on vacation the 23rd through the 29th. So the CSA kind of hits the pause button that week. It will resume the following week. You don't miss a week of vegetables. It literally just pauses for that week, which is actually kind of nice, I think. So this is week 9. It is week A. It is cheese week. And we definitely have some new veggies on the table, so we can just kind of get started. First veggie that we have that's kind of newer this week that we haven't had yet this season is celery. And I just kind of want to start with this. Celery from Shared Legacy Farms is not your typical celery. It is not pumped full of water like typical celery is at the grocery store. So it definitely packs a huge punch of flavor. It's not necessarily meant to be enjoyed like raw celery, like dipped in hummus or ants on a log. It's more cooking celery. So just kind of keep that in mind. When you go to store this, I would wrap it in some foil. And I do have some foil here. Maybe I'll do this now. But I love the celery stalks for cooking, like soups and things like that. You can definitely dice up the celery and store it in your freezer in a Ziploc bag and use it for soups and stews this winter. It's not going to be as crispy as raw celery, but it's going to be great for cooking. My favorite thing about the celery are the leaves. So I would highly encourage you to make celery salt with these leaves, and it's super simple. So when you go to make celery salt, you need to dehydrate these leaves. So you're going to go ahead and like just go through and pluck off the leaves and put them on a baking sheet. Put them in your oven at a low temperature for maybe 45-60 minutes until they totally crisp up and are dry. And then you are going to crunch them up and add some salt and put them in a mason jar. And this is the most amazing celery salt type seasoning that you can have in your house all winter long. So I would highly encourage you to do this. You can use this on roast, in stews, soups. Such a great way to enjoy some extra flavor over the winter time. So until you do that, you are going to store this in a green bag, or ideally kind of chop off some of the leaves and store these stalks wrapped in some foil to kind of keep them fresh and put them in your refrigerator. They're going to be good for at least a week, if not longer. So that is the celery, so flavorful. I can seriously smell it from here. So that is the celery. Other kind of new vegetable we have this week, we have a new variety of kale. This Mediterranean kale, which I've never had before, but is absolutely beautiful. Just a little bit of heads up, I know Farmer Kurt tonight said at the Sylvania site that Thursday might be getting a different variety of kale just because of some of the rain this week damaged some of the Mediterranean kale, so just heads up, Perrysburg folks. But as far as storing this, I'm going to store it just like I would other kale. It does seem to have like a larger stem. I almost feel like I have to cut some of this off in order to store it, but I'm going to store it just like I would other kale. So just kind of like dry and dirty in a green bag. It's going to be good for probably a week. And then when you go to use it, you're going to rinse it off and cut off the hardier part of the stem. Again, that hardier part of the stem is edible. You just kind of have to cook it for a little bit longer. So yeah, these are beautiful leaves. And we do have a lot of kale recently. I forget who said it this week, but it made me laugh. They said we're in kale jail. So just some different exit strategies for kale. Remember, you can add it to veggie soup bags, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. You can also make green cubes. You can blanch your kale and freeze it. So there are some different kind of exit strategies for kale, but I did appreciate that kale jail. Other new things we have this week, everyone has a beautiful heirloom tomato. Heirloom tomatoes, if I look at everything in our box this week, need to be enjoyed first. If you're just kind of prioritizing things, they're going to be good just for a couple days. Tomatoes should always be stored at room temperature, away from other fruits and vegetables. This little stem side down like this, right? Just to prevent extra oxygen from getting in there. Super good, just enjoyed on sandwiches, a classic BLT, so flavorful. Other new one we have this week, we've got cured garlic. So this can also be stored at room temperature. Garlic can also be frozen. So if you want to freeze garlic, you actually just kind of peel it. I don't know if I even want to open up this garlic yet. And you can put these little cloves in a Ziploc, throw those guys in your freezer. They peel off so easily when you kind of thaw them out for a few minutes and chop them up for different recipes. But that garlic is cured, so it does not need to go in the refrigerator. And then we've got some beautiful bell peppers. Bell peppers, just stored dry and dirty in a green bag or even just in your veggie drawer. They're going to be good for at least, if not a couple weeks. You do have a lot of like bag and freeze items this week that you can just chop up and get into your freezer if you want to. You've got the green peppers, you've got onions, you've got the celery. So those are all things that you can slice and dice up and put into freezer safe bags and put into the freezer to use. I know once we start to get a lot of onions, I like to make fajita bags where I slice up the peppers and the onions, put them in a Ziploc, get them in the freezer, and that's something that I can easily thaw out over the winter time or just kind of cook with. So I'm gonna put these peppers in a Ziploc. They're gonna be good raw, cooked, or frozen if I don't have time. These torpedo onions, I actually have some from last week too. So remember, these onions are not cured, so they need to be kept refrigerated. I'm just gonna throw them in the green bag with my onions from last week. Another easy like bag and freeze item. This little bonus, I don't know, I don't think we had squash this week on our list, but I've got these little patty pan squashes. Green bag, patty pan squashes look like little saucers, but they can be used interchangeably for recipes with like regular summer squash, specifically like the yellow summer squash. So you would just dice around the core here, chop it up, cook it, roast it, freeze it in cubes if you wanted to, but that's just another good variety of summer squash. And then we've got beets, which is kind of the featured vegetable of the week. So you either love beets or you're learning to love them, as the newsletter said. So beets, if you are just really like, no, I cannot roast beets, cook beets, I don't enjoy them that much, I would encourage you to steam them or roast them, peel them, and then puree them and make a beet puree. And you could freeze that beet puree in ice cube trays if you wanted to, or in like little pucks. But that beet puree, you can then sneak into like chocolate muffins or brownies, or there's a hot recipe in our group for beet bagels. Some people have made like pink beet pancakes. So if you're really struggling with beets, I would encourage you to steam them, cook them, your preference, puree them, and sneak them into some recipes that way. But it's a root veggie, so they're gonna be good for a little while. I'm gonna store them in a green bag. We're gonna have several weeks, if not several months, with veggies like that. And then cabbage, beautiful head of cabbage. Cabbage is a super hardy vegetable in the refrigerator. I'm gonna store this in my veggie drawer. Gonna be good for a few months. When I go to use it, I'm just gonna peel off the outer leaves. Sometimes they turn a little brown or a little yellow. That's okay, you just peel them off. When you go to use it, you just cut off this core, slice it in half, get rid of that center part, and you just slice it, saute it, cook with it if you need to, or make a slaw. And then we have officially entered corn season. So regular boxes will get 6 years, large boxes will get 12. Encourage you to make a corn salad at some point. Grill these if you want to freeze corn. End of August tends to be a great time to do that because sweet corn is at its sweetest. You're just gonna blanch it, get the corn off, freeze it in some Ziploc bags. For right now, I'm just gonna store this in the bag that it came in the refrigerator. The sooner you enjoy it, the sweeter it is. So the longer you let it sit in your fridge, it's not that it goes bad, it's just not as tasty. And then from the same farm that this corn came from Farmer Kurt's family, this comes from Bench Farms. They also gave everyone a melon this week in the vegetable share, not even in the fruit share. So you can store this at room temperature if you want. If you don't think you're gonna get to it in a few days, I would put it in the refrigerator. Once you cut it open, then it needs to go in the refrigerator. So the way I normally use these melons is I'll cut it in half, and then I'll cut up half of it for my kids. We'll enjoy half of it. I wrap the other half uncut in some saran wrap, put that other half in the refrigerator, and then after we've gone through this half, I cut up the other half. So once you cut it open, it does need to go in the refrigerator. If you're not sure if you're going to use it within the next few days, I would just put it in the refrigerator right now. And then just as far as vegetables go, before we get to the fruit share, this past week I was super overwhelmed in the refrigerator because we were out of town for almost a week. I had a ton of stuff building up. So I just made some of my go-to veggie soup bags. And I know I posted about this on Friday, so if you're curious with the specifics, I would go back and search veggie soup bags or look at my Friday post. But I do this every single year. So this was just a freezer-safe Ziploc bag. In here, I put a pound of ground beef. You could use whatever meat you wanted to or no meat. And then I basically cut up whatever veggies I have in. Most things will work. So this one has cabbage, kale, onions, some banana peppers, some corn, some carrots. And then I put a large can of tomatoes on top, and I kind of like squeeze that throughout because I have found in the past years that just helps everything like freeze better together, prevents some of the greens from getting so brown. And then this winter, I will pop this guy in the crock pot, add some extra broth, and I have an amazing like vegetable beef soup. Sometimes I will add some rice or some potatoes or something else if I want to, but this is a huge exit strategy for me to get some stuff in the freezer for the winter. So that's just my little tidbit for a freezer meal. And then fruit this week, we've got some beautiful blueberries. You could store these in this container if you wanted to, or rinse them in a little water vinegar wash. But those need to be enjoyed probably first. And then we've got some peaches. Peaches are not ripe in my box, so those can be stored on your countertop if you want them to ripen a little bit faster, even faster in a brown paper bag, or you can put them in your refrigerator if you are overwhelmed with fruit. Right now, that'll preserve them for even longer. And then we've got these sunrise apples, which are a great snacking apple, so you could leave these on your counter, in your fridge if you have room. I know this time of year it's like, how much room do I have in my refrigerator? So the peaches and apples could absolutely just stay on your countertop if they needed to. And then a melon, an organic melon. So if you've got the veggie share and the fruit share, this week you're getting 2 melons. So yeah, we got a lot of fruit this week, folks. And then cheese share this week, we've got this red cheddar, and then we've got this Shenanigans cheese, which I have never had before, from Black Radish Creamery. So some new things to try. Remember, the cheese share is great because even if you don't enjoy it right now, all these cheeses you can just throw in your freezer and save maybe for the winter months when you might be having more of those like more heartier, savorier type dishes. So this is week 9. Just make sure you RSVP or keep an eye out for any of those events that I mentioned that are coming up. And yeah, I will see you next week.